handful of the New Patriotic Party, Alan Kyerematen, yesterday, unceremoniously, as some have put it, pulled out of the NPP presidential primaries. Musa Dankwa is with Global Info Analytics. They've been running polls in this country, and MPs and others have been running to them, including assemblymen, and ask, Mr. Dankwa, please, can you test the temperature in my constituency or my electoral area and see if I will win or I will lose? It's the man we're going to speak to. Mr. Dankwa, good morning. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
As a point of interest, how do you feel when people start calling you to say, test the waters for me if I win or lose?
Assemblyman.
How does it feel?
It makes me feel that people are now using their head rather than their heart in making decisions. Those who want to use data are using data. And for me, that is a complete departure of what we've known in this country in the past.
I see. Now, Alan Kyerematen pulled out of the presidential primaries. Did it come to you as a surprise, a shock?
Yes and no.
Tell me why.
Okay. No, because I felt regardless of whatever he claimed to be the issues, he will stay in the race till the end. And I didn't expect him to pull out because of that. I didn't know the level that this issue he raised has reached to a point where he feels he doesn't want to lend credibility to the process by being part of it.
Right.
So his withdrawal really sends a shockwave in terms of the lending credence to the process he thinks is skewed towards a particular outcome. So for me, that was a surprise.
He seems to suggest that literally, if you read the tone of the letter or the press release, seems to be suggest that he either being pushed out, he may be looking elsewhere to run solo, and that things have not been done the way he expected it to be done. Are his reasons cogent?
Yeah, I mean, the letter comes out like that. And maybe he's so much agreed with what is happening that he thinks this is the best for him to take. And therefore, he's taking it. As to whether he's going to stay within the rank and file of the party to fight for 2024 on behalf of the system that he doesn't agree with, that remains to be seen. Or is he going to go solo by forming a party to run as a different party from NPP? I don't think so. Is he going to run as independent candidate for 2024? I'm not quite sure. So we have to wait for him to really tell us what he wants to do.
Now, sorry, go ahead, please.
Yes. On the other point that I say yes and no, the yes aspect is that from the superdelegate election, the ground really shifted and made Henry Depon the grand poster child of the anti-establishment. And I believe that people feel that it is better to consolidate around Kennedy to support him in order to give that showdown he promised than stay in the race and have fragmented front and to face a formidable contender who could in the end win. So probably that may have to inform the decision.
Now, you remember before the primaries, 9 of the candidates wanted a centralized election. And then one candidate, which is Dr. Bawumia, wanted a decentralized election. The party tilted in favor of the 1 instead of the 9. And that the suggestion was made that the system had been created to aid one candidate, which is Dr. Bawumia, the regime candidate so-called, to sail through. Could that have been a reason for Alan Kyerematen's pullout?
It will certainly be part of the reason. And for me, I felt that the centralization of the process would have made it much difficult to target people who would have otherwise voted for Alan or Ken. But making it the way it was, certainly will be able to zero in down those who are voting for X and Y. That played a key role. But I think from what I see, really, it's about the fundamentals of the race, which had changed dramatically following the superdelegate election. That may have probably played a bigger role behind the scenes than the optics.
Now, Alan has pulled out. What does that mean for the NPP going into the 2024 elections?
You see, anybody who doesn't think this will have negative impact on NPP is kidding, or doesn't understand numbers, or indeed doesn't understand how elections are won or lost. Alan has a base. He has support base. In an election where the party is on back foot, on defensive, behind in the poll, what you don't need is somebody sitting on the fence and saying the Munko enemy. You want all hands on deck. And indeed, we saw that in 2020 election, when it became clear that there was going to be apathy in Ashanti region. Now they went to Ashanti region 3 times in 2020. And in all those trips, those who were leading the campaign there were Alan Kyerematen and Kwabena Ejapon. Will Bawumia have the same people following him in 2024 in Ashanti region, where he needs to rack up the numbers to make the end of the visit? Absolutely not.
Let's look at... Again, okay, go ahead, sorry.
And then again, the fear of Kennedy, the impact of Alan may not be as huge as Ken, depending on how Ken sees himself in the race and how he's treated. The effect of Ken supporters on NPP race will far reaching than Alan. Because Ken voters are fanatics. They are hardcore, die-hard people who say no Ken, no vote. If this is part of your base and you lose them, then the election is lost.
Now, what do you say to a combination of 2 Adisada College graduates, Kennedy Ejapon and Alan Kyerematen, deciding to join hands and forces and to run solo on an independent candidate if they feel that the system has been orchestrated to the benefit of one candidate? What will happen?
Wow. I haven't even thought of that scenario, honestly. But from what we have seen in the data, it will certainly create a formidable force. First, it will break the rank of NPP. Absolutely no doubt about that. Because they will draw their support from NPP that way. And then there are others in the floating voters bloc that they may draw their support from. And eventually, NDC. Now, if this scenario pans out, then we are more likely to see a runoff. That I can say.
A runoff between who and who?
And that would be uncertain. It's going to be either Bawumia and Alan Cruz against Mahama. Mahama certainly will be on top.
I see. Now, what if any of the 2 gentlemen, that's Alan Kyerematen or Kennedy Ejapon, decide to cross carpet and go and join forces with the NDC? First of all, is that a possibility? And if that happens, what could be the repercussions?
I don't see that happening from the tradition that we know. But in politics, nothing is impossible. But if that should happen, that could be the end of 2024, break the 8.
Now, Mr. Dangwa, you look at the political landscape, and you know that no particular political party has been able to win elections hands down without the floating voters in the middle. Does Dr. Bawumia appeal to the floating voters such that they would want to join forces with the organic support base of the NPP to be able to get him 50% plus 1 in 2024 if he does emerge flag bearer of the party?
From the evidence we've seen in the polls, no. John Mahama leads a July poll, 45% among floating voters, and 30% or so to Bawumia among floating voters. Now, there are also people within NPP that are voting for John Mahama. About 17% of them, on the average, are cross-carpeting to vote for Mahama in 2024, as we've seen in the poll. And only 6% of NDC people are cross-carpeting to vote for NPP. So NPP is in deficit when it comes to cross-party defection. So at the moment, the number is really stuck against them.
And for Alan Kyerematen, Dr. Nyahonya Otamaklo is asking him to go and test his popularity by running as an independent candidate. Is it good advice?
I mean, there are a lot of people who have a lot more experience than me, Kwabena Dankwa. I'm not that old enough to know the politics, but he can test his popularity. But for him to make impact in that testing, he will need a lot more defection from NPP, floating voters, and to some extent NDC to make an impact. When that happens, then he will become the third force. And that third force will lend their support in case of runoff. But at the moment, what we are seeing is that the NDC voters are really rallying behind their own. We have not seen evidence that they will break rank.
Okay.
And for any third force to do well, you need to break rank of NDC. At the moment, they are solid.
Did you see the picture that we saw at the Special Delegates Conference where Dr. Bawumia emerged as first on the winning list, and then comes Kennedy Japan ahead of Kwabena Alan Kyerematen? Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't see it coming at all. We thought at worst that order will be maintained. But what did the trick for Kennedy was his outburst of showdown in the middle of the voting. People swayed from Alan to Kennedy on that afternoon.
I see. Zamuza Dakwa, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. We're grateful.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. That's Musa Dankwa Hayes with the Global Info Analytics. Hey. John Dramani Mahama is set to address the nation. What about? I'm sure we can talk about it in a bit, but we're going to Alan's camp in a bit to also find out the inside story. In the meantime,
so I mean, the headquarters called you to raise concerns and other things that you think wasn't right during the Super Delegate Congress. So what can you say about all this?
Let's just focus on why we are here. What happened to my colleague on Saturday was an act of total indiscipline and indecent behavior. How do we, as a decent party, going into an election, particularly at the level of superdelegates, superintend such behavior? I mean, look, we all joined the NPP because of our commitment to the values of the party. But what is happening clearly shows that this is not what we bargained for by joining the party. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of behavior. It doesn't make sense. And when we cannot conduct ourselves as a family, trying to select a leader, in a peaceful and organized manner, how do we intend to be able to do the same kind of process when we have 230 people gathered? 200,000 plus 1,000 people gathered, So I'm frankly very disturbed about what has happened. The party must not put a shine on this kind of incident. And we'll have to try and understand why this should happen. So in an internal election.
Going forward, November is just around the corner, and we will also go ahead with these delegations. And what do you have to say going forward?
My brother, my interest now is about the health of my colleague here. Let us focus on that. That is why we are here. And then we'll deal with those things.
That was Alan Kyerematen. Until recently, he was a flag bearer hopeful of the New Patriotic Party. Right now, I see Mbobio. Mbobio.
I think that it would be one of the fundamental shocks, or one of the key things that could actually happen to this country. Remember, in those days when we're having independent candidates, we've had other personalities contest on the so-called third-party platforms like CPP and PPP. Afterwards, we had Hindu leadership of CPP. It didn't actually make the impact that people expected it. Of course, Hindu, a mogul in business, didn't have the political clout at the time. He moved on to form PPP. He never had that impact. We had Abu Sakara on CPP platform. Couldn't have impact. If Alan Kyerematen and if he goes independent, I think that can actually strategically change the path of this country. Remember, in recent times than before, there had been a lot of crave towards a third force. And then, of course, the forces, so-called, that we've had in the past did not have the kind of weight that I think Alan has. If he had to go independent, I think that would be a landmark.
That was Professor Kobe Mensah. He's a political marketing consultant. And he says if Alan decides to go, what do you call it?
Are you ready?
Independent. Well, 22 minutes after 9 here on 3FM 92.7. Get ready for the Voice of the People segment where you get to speak on the issues that have been tabled this morning on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Johnny Hughes. In the meantime, I want to dash you money because I've told you that my birthday runs all through until next Wednesday. And guess what? There's an easy way to do it. Star 439 hash. Pick up your phone, then star 439 hash, and then choose option 1, which is 3FM, and enter your Momo pin and wait for the money. So come on, on your phone, it'll be there. Yeah, star 439 hash, choose option 1, and then enter your Momo pin.
3FM Sunrise.
We put up a question also on our Facebook page. Now we're asking you, should Alan Kyerematen form a political party? Should he run independent? We'll share some of the comments with you. You can always go and add your own comment on 3FM 927. But if you want some money as badly as I do, star 439 hash. Yeah, that's what you need to do. To my friends at NHIA, thank you very much for my birthday present. To my friends at Hollard Insurance, thank you very much. My friends at Wembley, Robert Coleman, thank you very much. To my friends at Anglo Gold Ashanti, thank you. I'm told Pink Panda brought a cake yesterday in my absence. Thank you very much, Pink Panda. Thank you to Palato and the team from GAF. Thank you also to the St. Joseph crew, Reginald and J, Mr. Hammond, all of you. Thank you to my guys at APL, my guys at TV3, 3FM here. Even though some of them didn't give me anything, they just hugged me and wished me happy birthday. Yeah, it's okay. Who else do I have to say thank you to? My lovely wife Yabi Amai and my son Obrempong. Yeah, they showed me love. And for all those who couldn't give me fufu, people say, come and buy you fufu, come and eat fufu. No. Roland Walker, thank you very much indeed. He took me out for some sweet lunch. There's a watch joint that brought me plenty watch I had to give to the security people. That's what the watch I was scared.
So yesterday, when I was at your front desk,
you didn't bring anything, please. You didn't bring anything.
Vibrancy.
Don't bring yourself. I'm thanking those who brought things.
Do you know what's in my boots?
Nana Asian, John Biney Asian. Yeah, I should be auditing you to find out if anybody sent Momo to you on my behalf. Yes. Mr. P, Mr. H, Alaji, thank you very much. And all my friends in the media who spent time to wish me a happy birthday, I'm grateful. All my friends on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter. Charlie, thank you very much. You do all. But my mobile line is still active. You can send something to confirm it still works. Yeah. I just want you to be sure that it works. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055